Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I have been sent some of the most stunning silicone inlays by Wendy over at Toonpish Crafts. Now, if you don't know Wendy, I'm going to link all of her details down below. Wendy sends me something each month to have a play with, and it's usually silicone inlays and these powders from Emma Cook, the Tiny Turner. Wendy is a distributor, but guys, look at these inlays. They are so beautiful, and they are a chunky hunky size as well, and I was so excited. She said, I'm sending you more inlays, trust me, they're not small. And I was like, yay, thank you. But they are coming up at a whopping 8 centimeters tall, which is perfect for your 10 centimeter coaster mold or anything larger that you want to put them in. And they are just simply divine. Super thin inlays, so you're not going to take away too much from your pieces. And there's just something so beautiful about seahorses. We have got 3 colours too. We've got ethereal flakes in the wisp. We've also got some chameleon flakes in Dijon or Jin. I don't know how to say it, Wendy. I should have asked you before I made the video, but yeah, it's a stunning colour. And then we've got some more chameleon flakes in basilisk. So Wendy just sent these to me as well for this month. And honestly, guys, beautiful. If you've been with me more than a few weeks, you will know that Wendy's been sending me these as well. These are the Emma Cook Tiny Turner Chameleon Pigment Powders. They are next level. Wow. But today we're using the flakes. Now, it's not something I usually use on my channel, but we're going to coat these inlays in the flakes, and this is the mold we're using. We are very much in the watery, oceany feels right now, and these coasters are by Moulds and Shapes. They are a chunky 11 centimeters across, which is bigger than their normal standard round coaster mold, which is a 10 centimeter. And I knew that these inlays would work absolutely perfectly in this mold. So this is the crinkled effect, or like crushed paper effect silicone mold. But I'm going to use it as a water effect as well. You would have seen me use that mold recently, just using Eco, a really simple, some of you hated it, that's okay. I used the mold to just create a really simple organic neutral decor, home decor in Eco. But this time around, we're using the resin and we're using it as a water effect. First thing I've done, I want to coat my silicone inlays in these flakes before I put it in resin. And the only way to make sure that the bottoms of these molds are super clean, although to be honest, it didn't really matter because I'm putting them in the other way around, but it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm going to lay these silicone inlays down on some tape. That is going to ensure that the bottoms are really clean. Now, again, this only really matters if you're laying them in on silicone. I'm not doing that. So this is a step that I didn't need to take, but it's a good habit. It's a good habit to get into. Laying them on the tape is just going to ensure that any excess doesn't go anywhere but on the tape. Now, the ethereal flakes, I'm not going to lie, if you've been watching me for however long, you'll know I've never used these before. This is a first for me. I didn't know what to expect. I know Wendy's used them, but I really didn't know how to treat them. Because when you've got a new product you've never used before, it is literally like you're a complete newbie. I really didn't know what I was doing with those, but I figured, hey, smush it all over and we'll have a play and we'll see. Next up is the basilisk. I did add some of the basilisk down on top of the ethereal flakes. Now, anyone who's used silicone inlays before knows that once you've got one layer of powder or anything down on your silicone inlay, the next layer is not necessarily going to do much, have an impact or stick because you've already coated it. But we have a go, we try it. Next up, on a fresh silicone inlay, oh, these are so beautiful. I'm going straight in with a basilisk. So again, these are chameleon flakes, and I'm simply using a soft fluffy brush to fully coat. This is a little bit sped up for you as well, because real time I was kind of taking my time, but guys, look at this. It is simply divine. It is so pretty. I did the exact same to the third inlay. So 2 of the inlays got the basilisk chameleon flakes and 1 inlay got the wisp chameleon flakes. I'm I'm kind of juggling my words here, but I hope I'm making sense. Now these coaster molds aren't big enough for all 3 to go in there together, but I'm going to separate them out. So one coaster is going to get 2 inlays and the other coaster is going to get 1. But how gorgeous do these look, guys? Seriously. First up, we're going to pour one thin, not too thin, around about half filled. So we're going to half fill the mold with the Apex resin from Just For You Online, which is a super beautiful crystal clear resin. We're also using the Just For You Online resin dyes, which I used in a couple videos back as well. Stunning, stunning resin dyes. And I'm looking for a real pale blue. You could, if you wanted to, just put your clear down, but the aim of this project, I really wanted my seahorses to look like they were floating mid-water. So I really knew I needed that first layer of resin to be a gorgeous, clear, pale blue. And I was really happy with this colour. I knew that it would work against those chameleon flakes as well. So yeah, first layer is done. Probably not halfway, if I'm honest. Probably a third is what I poured. Could have poured more, but that is entirely up to you. I'm just going to use my heat gun to blow this resin around. Now, again, these molds are from, this mold is from Moulds and Shapes, and there is a 10% discount for you over at Moulds and Shapes if you use my code, and that detail is below. But they have got a textured surface, which is where we're going to get that watery, wavy crinkle effect from. I just wanted to use my heat gun to make sure that that resin was fully in there, although I probably didn't have to worry too much. Next up, it's time to lay down our inlays. Now, these silicone inlays that Wendy made and sent to me are stunningly detailed. Like, they are so intricate, and yeah, I've got no other words. Give me more words, guys. I just knew that if I just went ahead and laid these inlays down in the resin, then we're going to get air pockets. We're going to get trapped air in all of that stunning detail. So the best thing you could do at this point is just lay one in your hand, coat it fully in epoxy resin to make sure that when it comes into contact with your surface, there'll be no air bubbles. So we're basically eliminating any air bubbles before we lay the inlay down. Yes, it's a messy job, but with inlays like this, it's totally worth it because they're just so intricate and detailed. You want to get rid of those air bubbles. Now, this little dude is going in a coaster on his own. He got the ethereal flakes, and already I'm thinking, oh, he looks very, very pale. But again, I'm new to all of these flakes. The next coaster on the left is going to get 2 little dudes. So we've got 2 going in side by side, and they're both the same colour. They both got the basilisk, and I'm doing the same thing again. I'm just coating real gently over the surface of the silicone inlay to make sure that when I place him down, any of those little nooks and crannies, all of that intricate detail has got no air in it. So when it comes to demold, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not going to have any crazy little air pockets. Final little dude going in, and again, just be really gentle because also I've already coated them, haven't I? I've already coated them with the chameleon flakes, and I was just worried that if I push too hard or use it, the fact that I'm even using a wooden lollipop stick, I was worried that I was going to scrape off some of that powder, but it was okay. And because I've laid them down face down, this is why having them on the tape was an unnecessary step for this video. You really only need them on tape if you're laying them directly onto a silicone mold. But hey, like I said, it's a good little habit to get into. This is what we're looking like. Super cute. Now they can move, they can navigate. Resin still moves once you've poured it. Even if you walk away and you think they've stayed in place, it's always worth checking, coming back 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, to just push them back into the area that you want them to stay. And look at these guys. They are just beautiful. I've got no other words. The inlays came out like a dream. Not a single bit of resin went up and over the inlays. I put them all back in their packaging, because I'm trying to be an adult. Put them back in their packaging and they are perfect. Now, second layer. This is where I don't want to say I've made a mistake. I do feel like things could have been a bit different here. Usually when you use a chameleon powder or a chameleon flake, you would back that area in black because black is what makes them pop. That's what makes the colour come out. You'd never go over the back with like a clear or a, what I'm doing here. Oh, I just thought it would be so beautiful to be able to see them from both sides. And I figured that even though they are darker than the actual resin itself, we'll just see what it comes out like. I was really torn. Do I fill them in black or do I just risk it for a biscuit? I've never done it this way before. I've never just put clear. Well, I did, I think 6 years ago when I first started using resin on a video, I just put clear resin. But I soon learned that those seahorses really could have done with a black background. But look at these. This is the back, guys. How stunning. I've never seen such a beautiful back of a coaster before because I didn't individually pour black in there. The difference being that when we demold, those colours will really pop with a black. And now we're going to demold. You will see what it looks like with no black background. But then I'm going to show you what it would look like if it had a black background. Anyway, so 24 hours later. So this was a 2-day project because obviously that first layer has to cure and before the second layer. So it is a 2-day project. This is what they are looking like. I mean, I don't hate them. They are, in my opinion, oh, that was a Wendy-ism, in my opinion. I think they're still really, really pretty. However, the powders themselves aren't being, there's no justice here for the powders. The black background really would have made these powders stand out in a league of their own. But my aim was to get some seahorses kind of just floating in water. And I've definitely achieved that. Especially this one here. It's almost ghostly. It's almost like I can't explain it. I don't hate them. I just wish I'd have tried it with the black. But we've got all the time in the world to do that. This one I really love, the ethereal flakes, because it just looks like a hologram. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a projected hologram of a seahorse inside water. As for the molds, they're stunning. That textured surface is definitely giving a rippled water surface. Now, here's what they would look like using black vinyl. Here is what those seahorses would look like if I gave them a black background. It's huge difference. So we go from being completely visible, having those colors pop, to this kind of washed outness. Does that make sense? You can really see the difference here in what it would look like. And in fact, they're so deep. With that black vinyl behind, they almost look purple. With no black vinyl behind, it looks like I've missed loads of areas. So it's really bizarre, surreal, but it is what it is. It's alchemy, it's science. So I'm definitely going to try these inlays again with a black background. Having said that, I did achieve the brief of having seahorses that just look like they're floating in water. I love them. Wendy, thank you so much for sending me these. I truly appreciate it. I honestly cannot wait to use them again, and the powders were a wow. Let me know what you guys think, and if you think they're lame, you can still write that in my comment section. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video.